And it's down the road we go. Happy Tuesday, 7th day of May. It's the year 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz. I'm back. Took yesterday off. Actually had a 2-day weekend. One of the first 2-day weekends I've had in a long time. Thanks to Eric Grandstrom for filling in for me yesterday. It was nice to have 2 consecutive days off, especially after all the rain we had. I was way up in the man lift, the cherry picker, if you will, for our coverage of the Stimult Grand Parade. The equipment stayed dry. I didn't. In any event, it was nice to take a couple of days off. Thanks to Eric for filling in for me. And I think it's about time to retire the Apple Blossom sweatshirts for the year. You'll need a sweatshirt today. It's going to be cool. Going to be breezy. Now, they said it was going to be windy yesterday, and it really didn't quite pan out, but they say it's going to be windy today. And we'll take the National Weather Service at their word. We start warming up on Wednesday as a ridge of high pressure, which is parked just off the coast, going to move inland. By the time we get to Thursday, Friday, especially Saturday and Sunday, Mother's Day weekend, going to be downright warm. Some would say hot, close to a record high temperature on Saturday. All those forecast details are coming up. Plus, we'll have your news headlines. In sports, the Mariners wasted another outstanding pitching performance by their all-star Louis Castillo. But Minnesota, if there's any team in Major League Baseball that might have a better pitching staff, starting pitching staff than the Mariners, it would be the Twins. They shut us down. We'll have highlights of that, talk about almost all of the high school spring sports are now in the playoff era, playoff time of the year. We'll have all of that. We'll have soccer tonight, as a matter of fact. We'll get to all that in sports. And since Eric did such a lot of work doing this whole little cool deal with Jen Mueller from Root Sports. Jen, if you watch yesterday's show, Jen hosts a show on Root Sports. It's called I Cook, You Measure. And they decided to do a kind of a fun little version of that little program. Eric and Jen did. They did it at the Beer Garden last week. Eric aired it yesterday. He did such good work with it, I thought I'd give him one more blast of love. We're going to air that for you today in the back half of the program. All right, 2 minutes after the hour. Here we go. Wenatchee Heights chimes in with the Wenatchee Heights camera. Days continuing to get along. We're gaining another, 90 seconds or so, 2 minutes of daylight a day. 5:34 was sunrise this morning. Sunset tonight, 8:21, 14 hours and 48 minutes of daylight. Will be above the 15-hour mark by the early part of next week. Yesterday's high 63, normal high 69. We've had a cool stretch of weather. We're going to completely invert that. By the time we get to Friday and Saturday, it's going to be very warm indeed, but again, windy today. Those details are coming up. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee. Hello, looking good. Few clouds up the Lake Wenatchee way. You can see the snow is still on the north face of Dirty Face, but everything else is pretty much snow-free now, and I'm pretty sure you can probably be golfing at Kaler Glen if the spirit so moves you. High atop Black Mountain, which is high atop of Shaston, there's an idea of the wind. That baby is shaking pretty good. These cameras, these towers that the cameras are on, are supposed to move when the wind blows. It has to have some give and take, and so it is. That's pointed, I want to say, almost due north from high atop Black Mountain, which is right above Shaston. So Leavenworth would be to your left as you look at that on the screen. And speaking of Leavenworth, there she is, and you can see that tree there on the right-hand side of your screen. That's moving around a little bit. Now, this is an exposed ridge. It gets windy up there, even if it's not too windy on the valley floor. But everybody's going to be dealing with wind today. Good morning to Leavenworth. And the hills are still very green. And with all that rain that we had on Saturday, record amount of rain, almost half an inch of rain on Saturday, that means we're going to be in for a few more days of nice green hills, provided you don't have allergies. The outlook for the week is a gradual warming trend. Breezy today, will be about 60, and then Wednesday, a little windy, but not as windy as today. We'll be pushing 70, and then for the Wenatchee Valley, we'll be pushing 80 on Thursday. We'll be well into the 80s on Friday, and by Saturday and Sunday, some locations in our viewing area could be into the 90s. I kid you not. How's that for warm? And we still got wind to deal with, though. Now, again, it didn't quite pan out. We had some wind, about 20 miles an hour yesterday. They're saying we're supposed to be breezy today. Pressure gradients are going to be tightening up a little bit all over the Pacific Northwest. Strongest gusts, as usual, the Waterville Plateau and out in the Columbia Basin. You're going to see some strong winds. These are peak wind gusts, not sustained winds, but we could see some blowing crap, if I can say that, and I just did. 35 to 40 miles an hour. Look at Ellensburg. It's always windy down there. 60-mile-an-hour gusts possible in Ellensburg today, but then it calms down. It's still going to be windy tonight, and I'll say breezy on Wednesday, and then we'll be done with the wind by Thursday. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunshine today, high of about 60, so it's going to be a little bit cooler than what we had yesterday. It is going to be windy, northwest wind about 15 to 20 miles an hour, as you already saw, gusts above 35 for the Wenatchee Valley anyway. A distinct possibility. Other places are going to be even windier. Clear tonight, 40 for the overnight low. Still windy, not as windy. It'll slowly die down. It'll be breezy on Wednesday, and here's where things really start setting up with a high of 71. And by the time we get to Wednesday night, this big ridge of high pressure is going to start moving in to the Pacific Northwest. It's going to move inland, and that's going to really start warming us up. 79 on Thursday, 87 Friday, 90 on Saturday. The record high temperature on Saturday, 92. Set back in 1993. So we're going to be close to a record high on Saturday. We won't be breaking records on Friday, Sunday, or Monday, certainly with the cool down, but we do have a shot at a new record high come Saturday. We shall see. That's the weather. It's 6 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break, and then we'll do your news headlines. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
I moved here 6 years ago. The manager here asked me what I like to do, and I told him that I like to play games, I like to play cards. And he said, "Boy, have I got a woman for you to meet." And he introduced me to her, and we walked down the hall, and I took her hand, and we've never let go of each other.
Life is so good when you're happy, and I'm very happy at Prestige.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Quite a bit of sunshine, 45 degrees, will only be about 60 for the afternoon high. It's going to be windy today, windy tonight, a little breezy on Wednesday, big warm up Thursday, lots of sunshine and close to hot temperatures for Mother's Day weekend. It's 8.5 minutes after the hour. The Washington State Department of Transportation is trying to figure out this mystery. What the heck happened to that giant United States flag that normally flies on top of the Senator George Seller Bridge? The DOT announced in social media posts on Friday that the long flying flag no longer there, and they don't know where it is. They think the flag may have been stolen. That's a big flag to steal. When the DOT climbed on top of the bridge to figure out what the hell happened to the flag, they found a family of osprey, nesting osprey, about 100 feet from the flagpole itself. Now, the agency says it may take some time to replace the flag since workers need to avoid harming the osprey, and the osprey can get downright defensive if they get a little too close to the nest. We shall see. Speaking of missing things, a mishap after the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Parade, the Stamilton Grand Parade on Saturday, means some quilts have gone missing. On Saturday, the truck that was carrying the entry from the North Central Washington Quilt Guild lost its display at the end of the parade after they were heading back. They were dropped somewhere near Cherry and Miller Street. When the guild members came back within 5 minutes to look for their missing quilts, they were gone. The Quilt Guild is hoping to recover its crafted textiles wherever they may have wound up. If you have information about where the quilts may be, call the Wenatchee Police Department or the Apple Blossom Festival office. East Wenatchee artist Ron Evans has been interested a long time in these signs, the rather unique signs and shapes of mid-20th century architecture and advertising. His miniature recreations and transmutations of some very familiar signposts in our area are on display right now at the Mack Gallery at Wenatchee Valley College. We caught up with Ron on his opening night last week. It's part of this month's First Friday Art Walk.
I'm Ron Evans. I've been called an artist. I don't know if I lean into that, but I make things. I'm a maker. I like that. I also published the Comet magazine, which has been called Filth and Propaganda, and I lean into that. This is a collection of some of the signs that I have been, miniature signs that I've been working on for the last 2-3 years. Some of them are replicas of iconic local signs, Wally's House of Booze, Ernst's, which is no longer here, of course the Bruce Hotel. You know, some of the more interesting mid-century 40s, 50s, 60s kind of neon signs. Some of them are replicas of that, some of them are complete inventions of my own, and a little bit of satire here and there, maybe a few jabs here and there, if I did it right. There's also just a little bit of innuendo for fun. There are some jabs at mega churches. There are some jabs at some of the nonsense of capitalism as a society. Foam board is the main material. And if anyone doesn't know what that is, foam core, foam board, whatever. It's 2 strips of paper, liquid injected with foam. You see this in a lot of presentations and boring business meetings with important facts glued to it. I cut those up into little shapes, and I do a lot of work in Photoshop, print those graphics out, cut them up with little X-Acto knives and put them together. The neon is wire. A lot of people ask me if they light up. They don't. I'm heading toward that. I will figure out a way to make these miniature signs light up at some point, but I haven't found that yet. So they're mostly wire, some resin here and there, and acrylic paint to give these washes of rust and dirt and grime and aging. I like the signs to look old, even if they don't necessarily make sense being 100 years old. I like that look and the texture of it. So I really have fun with what I say on the marquees. So I feel like I am not going to be walking away from doing signs or paper and foam board sculptures anytime soon. And after 20-some years of painting, I'm mostly acrylics on canvas. This has been a nice deviation from that.
Sunday is, of course, Mother's Day, so for all you mothers out there, happy birthday. And there's no lack of things to do around here for Mother's Day. Local organizations have gotten busy creating a bunch of unique opportunities to celebrate Mom on Sunday. Some of the events include a brunch at the Highlander Grill from 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock on Sunday, a cookie decorating class at Class with a Glass on Friday. That'll be from 6 to 8 o'clock. There'll be a sale on permanent jewelry. I don't know what temporary jewelry is. That'll be at the Tumbleweed Shop and Studio. There'll be ice skating at the Town Toyota Center on Sunday. A lot of events require pre-registration, though, so that you can find the full list of events by going to our website, ncwlife.com. And Memorial Park is pretty much cleared out. There's still a few odds and ends they got to get rid of, but the Apple Blossom Festival is over, and the Apple Blossom organization announced the best booths of this year's festival. For the Arts and Crafts Awards, first place, Best in Show, went to Found in Foraged Fibers. The Royalty's Choice went to Daisy Design. The winning booths in the Food Fair, Mac Daddy was Best in Show. Shiska Berries was the best main dish, although it isn't really one. My favorite, Ina's Cuisine, won the Community Choice. The full list of Festival of winners is again on our website. And that's what's making news a quarter after the hour. We'll have a newscast for you tonight because we think it's important that you know what's going on around here. That's why we do one. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV. 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work for you, we'll have it for you up and running on our homepage and CWLife.com so you can watch it whenever you want. Our Facebook page, our YouTube page, on our app. If you haven't downloaded our app, please do. You can do it right now. The old QR code's just waiting for you. And if there's something out there that you think needs our attention, yes, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Mariners couldn't score any runs, and they spoiled a very good pitching performance from our ace. Highlights are next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Welcome to Gilded Lily Home, where something extraordinary is waiting. You'll be delighted to find an amazing selection of specialty foods and tabletop decor. Browse their uniquely curated collection of gifts. Shop for yourself in their wide collection of jewelry and clothing, and for your home with their amazing hand-selected furniture, lighting, and decor. The Gilded Lily Home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, and your lifestyle.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
It's a great time to go into the medical profession. And this is the perfect place to start, because this is going to provide you that basic understanding in order to get into medical school, physical therapy school. So when you are ready to head on your career pathway, wherever it is, then you've already had some experience and say, oh, it's so cool. This is exactly what I want to do. So really, you're going to leave me with 13 college credits and a license with the state of Washington.
Sports, Simeon Woods Richardson just shut down the Mariners. He was good. Just gave up one hit in 6 shutout innings, and the Twins beat the Mariners 3-1 last night in the opener of their 4-game series. Woods Richardson whiffing 5 of his first 6 batters. He had 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. He outpitched our own ace, All-Star Louis Castillo.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Minnesota. The Mariners nothing and the Twins nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a fair ball and gets by the bag and by the glove of France. And Kepler's going to make second base.
100% this is a hit. It hit off the base. It's going to be questionable because the guy has a perfect game going. But this ball, the reason he missed it is because it skipped off the top of the base and didn't hop up for him. And that's going to go down as an E3 apparently. It just skipped and stayed down and then hit the line and actually took a weird hop as well. I can see why it's an error because it looks like a very catchable ball, but I had that from up here hitting off the base, and that's why he missed it.
So the Twins get their first base runner, 2-base error, and now it's going to be Carlos Correa. See, the Twins can take advantage of this.
Driven to right center field, deep in the gap. Haniger back, he will turn. That's going to be in play and off the wall. Correa's going to make second base. Kepler scores. There's hit number 1 for Correa off Castillo, and the game's first run. And it's 1-0 here in the 5th.
Well, no question if that one was going to be a hit or not. The only question was, is it going to stay in the ballpark? Almost identical location on the plate, a little bit higher than the one he took the previous one for a strike.
Griffin Jacks against the heart of the order here in the 7th. As Ty France will bat, bases loaded, nobody out. It's France, then Garver in a 1-0 Twins game. Swung on and missed, he struck him out. Hard sweeper at 89, and that's a big out number 1. And now here's Garver. You know, Mitch is craving this at bat, and you know Griffin Jacks, facing his former battery mate, is hoping to roll something to get him out of the inning. They're going to keep the infield in, not play for a double play.
Fly ball out to Margot.
Polanco ready to tag at third base. He's on his way home. And Mitch Garver ties this game up in the 7th inning. It's a sacrifice fly out to center field. All even at 1.
So Kepler's aboard for Correa, who has the Twins' lone hit and has driven in the Twins' lone run. And the breaking ball line down the left field line, and that's a base hit rolling into the corner. A slider that hung. Kepler is churning for third base. Kepler will stop at third base. It's a double for Carlos Correa. He has both hits for the Twins in the ball game, and he pumps his fist at his dugout with the go-ahead run. Now 90 feet away and nobody out for Willie Castro. Castro's been fighting it. 0 for 2 today. Had the hit streak snapped yesterday, and again there have been some big swings.
Swings, and here's one to Ty France. They got Correa hung up between third and home. He's going to run him back, make that Kepler. They're going to run back now to run it towards home plate, and now to tag by Rojas. The batter goes to second. Correa goes to third, but they cut off that runner. They had him in no man's land. They do get the out.
As they're going to walk Carlos Santana intentionally, and they're going to face, it'll be Vasquez to bat here. Bases are loaded. Twins only have 3 hits with the bases loaded all year.
A swing and a fly ball right center field. Rodriguez back. And Rodriguez charges, makes the catch. Correa heading home, throw to third, not in time. Vasquez gets it done. A sac fly to right. Correa scores, and the Twins regain the lead. It's 2-1.
And that's going to be it for Luis Castillo. Castro tags and goes to third on the play. So they're on the corners. Twins lead 2-1. Margot the hitter. So the Twins, as they have been able to do all year long, finding some offense in the 7th inning.
Hit up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Castro scores, Santana makes third. There you go, Manny Margot. A 2-out run-scoring single, and the Twins have a 3-1 lead.
Right-hand pitcher Emerson Hancock will take the mound for Seattle this afternoon in Game 2 of their series. Minnesota will go with right-handed pitcher Bailey Uber. First pitch on Root Sports is at 4:40. So the Mariners lose and the Rangers win. They beat the A's 4-2. That means the Mariners now slide a half game behind Texas for the lead in the American League West, and the Angels lost to the Pirates 4-1. All right, prep soccer schedule. A couple of big ins tonight. These are loser-out games. Number 3 seed in District 6 4A, the Eastmont Wildcats will host the number 6 seed, Moses Lake. That'll be at 6 o'clock. We'll have that for you tonight at the NCB Live channel. Across the river, the number 4 seed Wenatchee Panthers welcome the number 5 seed Eisenhower Cadets, also at 6 o'clock tonight. If Eastmont and Wenatchee both win, they will play each other in a loser-out game on Thursday. We shall see. Prep baseball schedule. Again, a lot of playoffs going on now. Wenatchee makes the playoffs as the number 6 seed out of the Big 9. They will travel to Yakima to take on the 3rd seed West Valley in a loser-out game. That's at 5 o'clock tonight. Also in more games, it's Okanagan, that 3 seed out of the 2B, not 4A. Number 3 Okanagan and number 1 Liberty Bell will do battle at 4:30, and Brewster welcomes Manson. Also at 4:30, and at District 6 1B, it's number 3 seed Waterville Mansfield at number 2 seed Moses Lake Christian. Prep softball, they're still playing in the big schools. Sunnyside will be at Wenatchee at 4 o'clock at Walla Walla Point Park. Chelan welcomes Kashmir at 4:30. Prep softball playoff schedule. In the District 6 2Bs, they're in the playoffs now. Brewster, a number 4 seed, welcomes number 7 Liberty Bell at 4:30. Number 3 seed Tenasket plays host to number 5 seed Bridgeport at 4:30. And we got soccer tonight with the handsome and talented Sebastian Moraga and the even more handsome and more talented Matt Wisen. Tonight at Wildcat Stadium, it is Moses Lake and Eastmont in a loser-out game in the District 6 4A playoffs. We'll have it for you tonight on Facebook at 6 o'clock, on TV at 7, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday. Happy National Teacher Appreciation Day. As a student going through your formal education, K through 12, or even farther up the line if you want, you know the teachers that really give a damn and the teachers who are running out the clock. You can't fool kids. On average, teachers spend about 10 hours and 40 minutes a day at work. So they put in about 54 hours of work a week, but they get summers off, so I guess there's that. 94% of all teachers surveyed say they like to be evaluated by their higher-ups on what it is that they do and how good are they doing. There are more than 3.3 million teachers in the public school system in this country. What's the breakdown? 77% of all public school teachers are women and 24% of men. And by the way, about 54% of all principals are also women. A lot of teachers spend their own money on school supplies. On average, for those who do spend their own money for school supplies for the kids, they spend about $500 every July and August of their own money so the kids can have what they need. Happy National Teacher Appreciation Day. I always remember the teachers that had an impact on me, and I think they know who they were. Many of them are probably disappointed. Today in history, the Lusitania. Boy, this ship was doomed from the beginning. When they built the Lusitania, you needed about 7,000 tons of coal to cross the Atlantic Ocean. And they realized they didn't have enough storage room for the coal, and so they tore out the watertight compartments so they could put more coal in it. It was really top-heavy, too. It was 6 stories high and didn't have enough ballast because as you burn the coal, the bottom of the ship gets lighter, and it would... And, of course, Lusitania on its trip was carrying 173 tons of contraband cargo, explosives for the Allied efforts who were fighting the Germans. So the Germans blew it up, and it didn't take a great deal because when you're carrying 173 tons of explosives on board, munitions for the British, if you hit it, it's going to blow up. The whole thing sank in 19 minutes. There was enough lifeboats on board for everybody, but the ship sank so fast and it sank at such a list that a bunch of people died. 1,198 people died, including 128 Americans. When it was all said and done, there were 4 manifests, 4 of them. There was a big investigation. The manifest in Great Britain had one thing. The manifest in the United States had something else. And then the actual people who owned the ship, they had a 3rd manifest. None of the 3 manifests added up, and none of them mentioned that they had a whole bunch of explosives on board, smuggling them over to Europe. 20 years after the Lusitania sunk, longer than that, I think, FDR was going through a safe in the White House. He found a 4th manifest that belonged to Woodrow Wilson. That was an actual copy of the manifest that went down with the ship. And that manifest said, yeah, we had a bunch of munitions on board. The British always denied it, said we were never, ever carrying contraband. And it was all on the Germans blew up just a passenger ship that was not carrying explosives until they found the Lusitania in 1982. And the deep sea divers said, well, we're going to go down there and take a look at it. And the British authorities said, well, be careful because there's a whole bunch of explosives in the ship. If they find the ship, you're going to get caught. Lusitania goes to the bottom. And, of course, that precipitated our entry into World War I. Speaking of wars, it's all done. The war in Europe is over as the Nazi Germans sign the unconditional surrender terms in France. It went into effect the next day, VE Day, May 7th, 1945. VJ Day wouldn't come for a few more months. And finally, happy birthday to the 27th Amendment to the Constitution, the one that's most recently passed. It went into effect on this day 32 years ago today when Michigan ratifies it. The 27th Amendment provides that Congress can give themselves pay raises, but they can't do it in the middle of a term. If they give themselves a pay raise, they don't get the pay raise until the next Congress is seated. Everybody forgot about it. Everybody ignored it until a 19-year-old sophomore, Greg Watson, doing some research, says, you know, we can still pass this thing. And everybody went, pfft. And his teacher gave him a C because she said, you're an idiot. Well, he went ahead and did his own little let's do it. Greg Watson did. And he got all the other states to hop on board. And by the way, a couple of years later, Gregory Watson's teacher changed his grade from a C to an A+. The 27th Amendment, the most recent amendment to the Constitution, went into effect on this date in 1992. 3 heavenly birthdays. The legendary Gary Cooper, Academy Award for Best Actor, 2 of them, Sergeant York. At high noon, also an honorary Academy Award winner to the Pride of Montana, Gary Cooper, born in the state in 1901. Johnny Unitas, a lot of people still consider him one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time. He still holds some records even in this passing era. And of course, a longtime member of the Baltimore Colts, the late great Johnny Unitas was born in the state in 1933. And Tim Russert, my favorite host of Meet the Press. I never missed Meet the Press on Sunday mornings. I'm glad it didn't run opposite this week so I could watch both of them. Tim Russert, born in the state in 1950. We miss all of 3 of them. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. You saw the weather forecast. We're going to hit 90 on Saturday. That means your air conditioner is going to want to kick itself on. This is you're getting to the end of it, folks. Get Alpine Air out there and make it look, have them take a look at your HVAC system so it's ready for the heat. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Pool to Spa Services, celebrating a milestone. I think it's 30. Oh, Prestige Senior Living, can't forget about them. Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, and Pool to Spa Services. give him a big hand. Still to come, an opinion from my Mad Dog McNally. They're going to replay the cool little segment that Eric and Jen Mueller did at the Beer Garden last week. Jen Mueller and Eric Cranston, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
If your chair is comfortable and still fits, don't toss it. Reupholster it at Wenatchee Upholstery. The sky is the limit. From new upholstery in your favorite car to upgrading your seats in the boats. Everything old can be new again when you call Joe. Personalize your golf cart, grandma's chair, your favorite bar stool. Trust your treasure with Wenatchee Upholstery.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Steelhead Cider offers 20 taps with cider, beer, and wine, featuring views of the lake, great music, and fantastic flights. Find it on Wooden Ave behind the bookstore in downtown Chelan.
Kelly's Classic Ace Hardware Store. From the minute you walk through the door, you'll feel the difference. Kelly's revives the days of personal service lost in the big box stores of today. Kelly's Ace Hardware in classic downtown Chelan.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally. Everybody's entitled to my opinion when someone mentions white male privilege. Us white guys got our panties in a pucker. What privilege, we say? I work for everything I have. Well, the privilege we're talking about here is not something we had to earn. And also, truly, it's not something that we're deliberately trying to take from someone else. It's just the benefit that society gives us because of our maleness and the color of our skin. Now, I'm sorry, let's face it. I have accomplished some things in my life due to hard work, education, responsibility, etc. There's no denying that. But I also have to admit that I may not have had the same payoffs for that hard work and responsibility or the same opportunities I've had if I had been female, Hispanic, black, what have you. Now, is there any shame in admitting that? No, of course not. And admitting it doesn't negate my hard work and responsibility. But denying I've had this privilege, well, that smacks of social injustice and a denial of the unfairness of life that has been unfair in my favor and at someone else's expense. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
I chose Pinnacles because they give you a lot of opportunities for really fun field trips and activities.
It's a smaller school, so you feel more connected to other people. My favorite thing about Pinnacles is definitely how we got to choose our elective. I learn at my own speed. It's a place where people can be who they want to be, and they show that by using their epic values.
We choose Pinnacles because the staff is accepting.
Your home runs on hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
Call After Hours Plumbing for all your water heating needs.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients, handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Well, hope you had a happy apple blossom, and thanks for joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. I'm Eric Grandstrom, and I am pleased to bring, well, I didn't bring you. I don't think I brought you.
I drove.
She
here.
drove. Yeah.
Yes, that's how that works.
Maybe I coaxed her to come over and to enjoy. Oh, yeah. Requested. Yes, Jen Mueller from Root Sports Northwest. Mariners, of course, Seahawks broadcasts on the sidelines. I've worked with Jen for quite a while now, and I've been trying to get Jen to come over and experience apple blossom. It's been a little difficult for you with your schedule.
There's been some scheduling conflicts, but not this time.
So Jen has been here for apple blossom for the majority of the week. Thanks for being our keynote speaker for the All Service Club Luncheon. That was fantastic.
You are welcome. I had a blast.
Yes. So Jen hosts a great show. Aside from all the work she does in sports, she does a cooking show with sports celebrities. It's called I Cook, You Measure.
Yes.
It is, you can see it on Root Sports Northwest. Better yet, it's on YouTube. And I thought when we had Jen over, and I heard you were going to be here for a few days, why not come to Blossoms and Brews here in the Beer Garden and get out here to the food fair and do what you do best. Well, I don't know if it's
eat and drink. You identified this skill set. Some people don't recognize it as a skill set.
I'm surprised you don't have wine in your hand already.
I was going to say something about that to you because you put the wine over there.
I did, and I just because So what we're going to do here is we're going to take food from the food fair, and we're going to pair it with not only wine. And we'll talk more about the wine coming up in a moment, but also some of the cider and the beers you can have here during Apple Blossom Festival in Blossoms and Brews. Now, if you missed it this year, don't worry, it'll be back next year, and it's one of the largest tents that's here during Apple Blossom in Memorial Park. So, Jen, first of all, tell us a little bit more about the show, and you have a new season that is hitting right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The show is exactly what it sounds like in the name. I love to cook, I love to pair food and wine together, and I love to talk while doing it. So it is all the things that I love, asking some of my athletes to come on and cook with me. Some of them are pretty comfortable in the kitchen. Others, and I don't want to name names, but I'm totally naming names, Taylor Saucedo and Bryce Miller treat knives like whack-a-moles. So it really does make for some entertaining television.
Okay,
yeah.
So is that the whole garlic press
so there was
that's
a
going
garlic situation.
Okay.
There's some nice, and credit to them, when you keep your hands out of the way, which you should totally do if you're a pitcher using a knife, what ends up happening is just a lot of like this on a cutting board. Right. Yeah.
And then add wine to it, and who knows what's going to happen.
Well, and that's why you watch the show.
So a new season of I Cook, You Measure is available now on Root Sports as well as on YouTube. So look it up, Jen Mueller. But I wanted to bring some of your expertise into helping us with. Now, we're kind of going a little backwards here.
We are. We do not usually, I don't usually, have dessert before dinner, but we're going to make an exception today because we've got 4 wines, a beer, and a cider that we are going to pair with this fair food. And when you taste wines, you want to go lightest to heaviest. So you want to start with the white and you want to end with the heaviest, biggest, boldest red. Otherwise, your palate just, it kind of gets a little bit
confused. It's overwhelmed, right?
That's the word I'm looking for. So we have a Pinot Gris that we are going to pair with some funnel cake. My normal rule with pairing sweets is you put sweet on sweet. And I know that that is a little bit counter to the folks who like red wine and dark chocolate.
Right.
I actually do not prefer that combination.
Oh.
I want sweet on sweet. So if I'm doing dessert and I want a wine, it's probably going to be a Riesling, a Gewürztraminer, maybe a Moscato, maybe, something that just, it doesn't have that dryness because I'm not competing in flavors.
Okay.
Because this is deep fried though, I like the crispness, and it does have a little sweetness to it. It's got some fruit.
Okay. So cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fruity.
It's fruity, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about where we got the wine.
How cool is this winery?
Oh, I know.
So great. It is a very cool story with the family. Circle 5, so gracious, beautiful location, and the wines were excellent.
Yeah,
I could have sat there for much longer.
Oh,
I probably will be sitting there for much longer at some point in time too.
The Scotts were very welcoming, very hospitable. They shared the story of course, Martin Scott's, the originator, Mike Scott's, and showed us and gave us a taste of many of the wines, well, all the wines that we have here today to pair. So we're going a little backwards because when you go wine tasting, typically you'll start with the whiter wine and then get to the heavier stuff.
And then you get to the heavy reds.
Okay,
so that's what we're gonna do.
We have the funnel cake.
So what I like, and again, because this is deep fried.
Oh, by the way, we should mention that you are a funnel cake barista. What do you call a funnel cake maker?
A funneler? I don't know. I don't know. What do you call a funnel cake maker? I feel like
now,
this is now
when you pair, should
rhyme.
you eat the food first and then swallow with the wine, or what's the proper way to pair?
That's usually what I do. First of all, I want to like smell and taste the wine first.
Okay.
Which
All right.
we did.
Okay, we did.
We did
and,
that.
You know, we need to do it again.
We totally need to do this again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to sit there, make sure that, got the flavor. And then, yeah, after I take that bite.
Oh. Okay. All right. I got you.
Do you see how that goes? It's like the heaviness of the funnel cake. I'm going to put a little strawberry on it. Don't you put strawberries on
No,
yours.
I won't. I'm allergic to strawberries.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So that's nice
don't you
because
like eating on TV in front of people?
You have obviously the grease that the oils that they're frying the breading in, that is the funnel cake. So you got that's hanging there, but then you take the wine and it kind of cuts it for you.
It does. And you know what else I think would cut through that nicely? This rosé cider.
Okay.
So same kind of concept because it's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but just the way that the acidity kind of cuts through the funnel. Cake. I was missing the word cake.
But
I'm a funneler.
You're a funneler, and you're a fun gal. So
it all works together.
This is from Union Hill, by the way. This is their, and you've heard of the Cosmic Apple. So this is made from the Cosmic Apple. It is the Cosmic Rosé.
Yes.
And it is fantastic by itself.
Yes.
Now, interesting to pair with some food here.
Yes. And I gotta say.
Oh, so that's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
So, okay, now I gotta ask you this. You're mixing here. You're mixing cider, you're mixing wine, types of.
Are you asking me how I'm able to do this and how my skill set allows me to?
I'm not asking that. I'm asking, do you typically change the palette midstream while you're pairing?
No. Unless I personally am trying a new recipe and I want to figure out what wine goes with it. So I do love to read cookbooks and I love to read recipes. So when I get one, I think I know what it's going to taste like. I think I know what wine I want with it. But I will often open 2 or 3 bottles and figure out if I got it right. And for me, it's a game. And wine pairing ultimately comes down to what you like.
Sure.
There's certain things that would compete and maybe not go together, but I like the game. It's a competition for me.
I also love the fact that you don't claim to be a chef.
No,
you
I am
like
not
to
a
cook,
chef.
and you totally are upfront about the recipes and where you find them and things like that. That's what's great about the show too.
Yeah, because what we actually all want to do at the end of a busy day is get dinner on the table in 30 minutes. We want to know it's healthy. We want to know that it tastes good, and that's kind of what we do on the show.
Yeah.
It's just really approachable.
I cook, you measure, that's the show. We are doing a little bit of that. We're not cooking, but we're enjoying. We're going to take a quick break and come back, and we have much more food to pair and something you might not expect. That's coming up next here on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Crown Furniture knows the most important part of a healthy and productive lifestyle is good quality sleep. The Englander Mattress Company is dedicated to manufacturing the best mattresses made in the USA. Englander chooses the finest materials made in the USA with a drive, dedication, and attention to detail, earning them a 99% satisfaction rating. Stop by Crown Furniture today on South Wenatchee Avenue and save up to 35% on select Englander mattresses.
Well, thanks for joining us for a little bit of pairing today on the NCW Live channel. Along with Jen Mueller, I'm Eric Grandstrom. And first of all, again, thank you for being here. And thanks for doing this and having some fun with us today. So we're pairing food fair food here at Apple Blossom with some wines, with some ciders, with a little beer now.
Yeah.
So we got your traditional,
this is traditional
fries and corn dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could totally do a beer.
You can tell this is my world right here.
Everybody needs a corn dog in their life at least once a year, and it should be at the festival because this is the best time to get one. And I want my fries in a loaf. Why don't more people do this?
Well, and that's true. And what's amazing too is that this is just one potato.
Right.
I mean, they make it look much bigger.
Not the size of potatoes that I generally buy, but sure, we'll go with that.
I thought you were going where the size doesn't matter. By the way, we're going to pair this with the beers. Now, you were talking about going through several different wines to make sure it pairs well.
Yes.
So that's research and development, right?
Yes.
Now, Apple Blossom here at the Blossoms and Brews, they go through months of research and development to determine which beers they're going to have here during Apple Blossom because it's about taste and about varying things. We've got Drew Brew here today that we're going to pair with the corn dog and fries.
Should I try it
This
first
is from Kolsch. And this is in Snoqualmie and Cle Elum.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, I had this.
How would you describe this?
It's light, not very hoppy.
No. So it's a lighter beer.
It's a Kolsch style. I mean, it's.
Right.
I don't have as many words for beer as I have for wine.
Well, that's okay. But tell us about pairing heavier food like this and what kind of wine, and what's the wine we're going to do with this?
So we're going to do Chardonnay with the corn dog and the French fries. Now, Chardonnay.
Some people might be going, wait a minute,
I
Jen,
know.
you're off the reels
so
here.
Here's the thing, and some people have very strong opinions about Chardonnay. There are different styles of Chardonnay, and a California style tends to be really heavy, really big, really buttery. And if you have one of those, think like a Rombauer. That would be like the best example of that. French fries, the salt in the fat, it goes really well, or potato chips goes really well with that. This is not that type of Chardonnay. Circle 5 did an awesome job with this one because this is actually just a little bit more florally and it's lighter and just a touch of oak. That's kind of the other style of Chardonnay.
They just bottled this last week.
Yeah,
so
I know. Actually,
it's
I don't think people can get this right now.
You'll have to give them a call, go to the website, visit Circle 5.
Tell them that you heard it from us, maybe?
Right, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So Circle 5, by the way, in East Wenatchee, up by the golf course, Highlander Golf Course, right by Union Hill, right by Bianchi. So stop by Circle 5, formerly Martin Scott. So, okay, you're doing the wine.
I love that. Yeah, oh, did I jump the gun on that one?
No, that's it. Well,
Am I going to apologize for it?
We've met, so.
He must know I like wine.
All right, so you have taken a chunk of corn dog.
Yeah, I'm going to do the ladylike version of eating a corn dog.
So the brick of fries here is falling apart in my fingers.
The salty.
Salty.
And the corn, like the batter.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
So now, I go to a Mariner game or I go to any, ballpark and get a dog.
Are you going to be drinking a glass of Chardonnay?
No,
I was like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm a light beer guy. And what we have here from Kolsch, the Drew Brew, is a lightish beer. You've tried it.
Yep.
So, all right. Oh my, that is salty, isn't it? Okay.
It's still good though.
Oh yeah. All right. See, there you go. That's tradition beer.
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
And greasy food and yeah.
And again, you should do this at least once a year.
All right.
I would prescribe at least once a year.
You know,
maybe once a weekend. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not going to be the one that tells you how much to drink. I will just tell you that it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So here, you've got. Oh, we both had the beer. So let's.
Well, yeah,
toast.
you told me to. You told me to have the beer. I follow instructions, folks.
Oh, see, that's good. That's good. All right. So let's put this aside.
You want to move on to reds because there are some people that white is just not for them. And there are 2 really cool red wines at Circle. Well, there's more than 2.
Yes.
But I am very excited.
You're going to drink that?
I'm totally going to drink that, just not right now. I'm really excited about this next one.
Okay.
Let's see if I can pronounce this correctly. Montepulciano. I
grabbed
close.
the wrong one.
I think I got close to that one.
Okay. So this is an Italian grape, they tell us.
It's an Italian grape.
All right. So
it is going to be in a similar vein to a Sangiovese or a Chianti.
Okay.
This should be medium-bodied. Well, I don't need to tell you what you're going to taste. You could just taste it. But if you smell it,
so you
can smell a little cherry in there.
When some folks go to wine tasting, and I'm not a wine connoisseur by any stretch, should you cleanse your palate between your tastings and have a little water or something like that?
Yep, or oftentimes they will do like the little oyster crackers or some saltines, something like
or
that.
Or a pierogi.
Or a pierogi. Yeah, it does, because your palate does get tired after a while, right? You can't just drink and drink it. I mean, you can, but ultimately you're not going to be able to taste very much by the end of the day. And so cleansing your palate, going for lunch in the middle of it would be great. What we've got here is the beef and cheese pierogi.
Right.
This is an Italian wine. So if you don't know how to pair wine, Italian wine goes with Italian food. Spanish wine goes with Spanish food, right?
All right.
We don't really have Italian fare at Apple Blossom. Pizza, this would be great with pizza.
Okay.
But what we do have is meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese and a little breading.
And you can't go wrong with that.
True. Okay, all right. So again, you said first
I would do this.
Give it a little smell. Okay. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. See, I didn't try that up at the winery. Okay.
I love that face.
You can't go wrong with a pierogi.
No, you can't. Or this wine. And I will tell you.
Oh my. Okay.
You could pair.
I get it.
And you could pair this with lots of different things. And I know that you're a big cab drinker, right? You could totally do that. But what I love is kind of introducing people to new varietals so that you just know that there's options out there. And to my knowledge, and I drink a lot of wine, I have not seen this varietal done by other wineries in Washington State.
That's
it might be out there and I just haven't tried it yet, but that's really cool. We got the flavor on this one?
That's good. That's
really good. I don't want to put it down.
I know.
I do have to put it down because I've got one more wine to pair.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
Well, unless this is too much for you. If you're not to my level of tasting yet, I get it.
Was that a challenge?
Did I issue a challenge?
That was a
challenge. I might have
challenge.
issued a challenge.
Oh.
Okay. Last one.
We have mac and cheese
with some
pulled
pork.
Oh my gosh. What's the wine we're doing now to pair with the mac and cheese?
Petit Verdot. Petit Verdot. At Circle 5, this is going to be one of their biggest, boldest wines. It's going to be a little smoky. It goes awesome with anything grilled. So if you were going to barbecue, if you were going to fire up the Traeger, the green egg, any of that, this is the wine that you want. If you like cabs and if you like full-bodied wines, you're going to want to try this one. Oh, hang on.
You're a little behind, Jen. See that challenge? Who's ahead now?
Suddenly, I feel like I'm in college.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So here's what we got. Darker color than the previous one. Ooh, totally different nose on that. You got that?
Yeah,
you got the smoke?
I do. I smelled it as soon as I got the bottle near me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's completely a new page. That's a new chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you dig in,
all right,
and you get a little mac and cheese and some of that smoky pulled pork.
Right. Oh my.
Ooh. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little sweetness in there.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
come on now.
Your pairing should enhance your food.
See, that the bells
they even agreed.
are
they
perfect.
agreed with us.
With the chimes that just went off in my head and on my tongue. I'm telling you.
Chimes on your tongue does
Yeah,
make it difficult to do anything else right here.
It's metaphorical.
Oh,
right?
I see. I see where we were going with that.
Well, you do get the pulled pork in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also,
I apologize for talking with food in my mouth.
And for eating on TV, which is never something that I enjoy doing, but it's now just part of the job. So the number of times I've critiqued myself on how I take a bite of food, it's ridiculous.
Well, Jen, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate your show because I have binge watched every episode and I'm so excited for a new, my wife is behind the camera going, yeah, he has, it's kind of sickening. But again, I Cook, You Measure, available on Root Sports Northwest, as well as YouTube. Get there, subscribe, like it, love it, because you will, and it will give you some great ideas.
And find the bonus bites episode. So not everything made it into the full-length show, and the stories in the bonus bites, they're gold.
Well, we had bonus bites here at the food fair during Apple Blossom Festival 2024. Jen, here's to you. And here's to you. Happy Apple Blossom.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
48 degrees here in the big city. Those promised winds, as those pressure gradients are starting to tighten up, are starting to kick up a little bit. Right now in the Wenatchee Valley, we have a pretty consistent wind out of the northwest at 15 miles an hour. Right now, Ephrata, 26 miles an hour. Ellensburg, 36 miles an hour, and it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. And that's really the big story today is going to be the wind. We're going to have cooler than normal temperatures, well below normal, about 9-10 degrees below normal, but very windy today as the very last of this system. There's a big ridge of high pressure right off the coast. It's going to slide in, but in the meantime, we're still going to have to deal with these very windy conditions and very low relative humidity. The strongest winds, by the way, right here in the Wenatchee Valley, down in Ellensburg, and up in the Waterville Plateau. Everybody's going to be dealing with some winds today. There you go. These are wind gusts, 35 to 40 today. Look at Ellensburg. They could see the occasional gust at 60 miles an hour, and it's going to be, well, it's going to be windy anywhere you go today. From the National Weather Service, lots of sunshine, lots of wind, high of about 60. Clear tonight, still windy in the overnight hours, 40 for the overnight low. Wind dies down Wednesday, but not much. High of 71. Then that ridge of high pressure will definitely be here by Thursday, close to a record high on Saturday. I kid you not. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Small Town Big Deal, the world's biggest festival celebrating one of our smallest fruits.
Welcome to Cranberry Fest.
The costumes and the contests.
The royalty and the rainstorm.
So the big parade is supposed to start soon, but will it go on? And our search for the tastiest
cranberry deep fried
cranberry treat
cran orange creamsicle
ever created.
Worth the wait in line.
That is worth the wait.
Welcome to